Greetings, my friends. I hope today finds you well and managing with some ease. I keep being reminded by all the great teachings and teachers that I'm listening to and reading over the many decades that the peace that we seek is not to be found outside ourselves. It actually is who we already are. And I'm also becoming very aware these days that, as always, but it's really showing up as I see my own world and watching others in the world, that our thoughts create our universe. You know, we have to be so careful about what we think and what we say, and then, we can create what we want. Um, and so I think it's an important time in our life as a collective consciousness to create what we really want in this world. And watch in our own life how our negative thoughts, suddenly we're getting exactly what we were afraid of. We probably all have seen that happen in our life. And so our practices are both formal on our mat and our cushion, and then really how do we live our lives? So to watch ourselves throughout the day. There's some wonderful readings. Kabir, I have this wonderful daily little reading from Kabir from Andrew Harvey. And this one says, the one you look for everywhere in the world is in your own body. Illusion darkens your eye, and you can't see him or all slays or her. The one you look for everywhere in the world is in your own body. Illusion darkens your eye, and we can't see. And so that's really the truth. So when we can take this time to cultivate and grow and turn to recognize that peace and joy and contentment and love that is our true essential nature, then that's what we put into the world. That's what we see in the world. We all know we've been in, miserable moods, and we can be looking at a beautiful rainbow and it doesn't look so beautiful. So it really starts within each of us, right? Thich Nhat Hanh says, when we think of spiritual renewal, we typically think of it bringing a sense of peace and joy and contentment, as I just said. And this search for peace and joy often means we're trying to acquire these feelings as if they were separate from us. And we need to find and install them somehow. Like there's somewhere out there if I only get that. So through our practices, we learn that we really don't need to go anywhere or acquire anything to find peace and joy. Peace is what we essentially are. I love this. Peace is what we essentially are. Joy is the very nature of pure consciousness. To attain the happiness we long for, we only need to be what we already are. Present moment awareness. So let's tune into what we already are. Present moment awareness. So as usual, make sure you have props you might like, whether it's a bolster, some blankets, blocks, a strap. We'll see where we go. And then find your seat that feels steady and comfortable on the edge of a cushion or blanket. And I like sitting on the edge of something because it helps to tip the pelvis forward a little bit, not so you're leaning forward, but that there's more space to grow long in the lower back and have that gentle curve. As you inhale, draw your shoulders up, and as you exhale, roll them back. And lengthen the back of the neck. Close your eyes and just take a few long, steady breaths. Meet yourself right here. And even though we know, peace and joy is what we already are, it does not mean that we don't experience discomfort sometimes in the body, unpleasant thoughts, or unwholesome emotions. These changing, the changing scene happens just like in the sky. There are storms. And it's okay to recognize that, to breathe it, to relax. That's what we do. Those are all the little add ons that happen from living a life. Mm. So feel where you are right now. In fact, meet every little nuance with that pure joy and love and acceptance. Mm. And as my dear teacher and friend Sylvia Borstein says, may I meet this moment fully. May I meet it as a friend. And let's take a moment to touch into that place that when we take refuge, we remind ourselves of who we really are. We take refuge. It's that awakened place, already so, right? Everything you seek is already here. So, reminding myself that from now until I fully awaken, I vow to take refuge in loving awareness, my true home. And pause for a moment to feel home, home. And we know we live a life, it happens, and we remind ourselves that from now until I fully awaken, I vow to take refuge in the path of loving awareness. So, as I said, all the practices, all the teachings are to help us let go of all that we're not, to remind us of who we are. So I take refuge there. And from now until I fully awaken, I vow to take refuge in the Sangha, my teachers, my friends, my spiritual family, those who aspire to live awake and free. And we feel each other right now. I'm feeling all of you there with me and all of my teachers and my dear ones in my life because we hold each other up. Because I want to live from that awakened heart, I remind myself from now until all suffering is experienced as liberation, I will bring benefit and happiness to all. Mm. Mm. And as you sit, just feeling your breath, just breathing you. Thich Nhat Hanh says every breath we take, every step we make can be filled with peace, joy, and serenity. Deepak Chopra offers us this centering thought. Peace and joy are my essential nature. Peace and joy are my essential nature. So just let yourself repeat that to yourself a few times. Peace and joy are my essential nature. Breath comes and goes, and the phrase, like a little mantra, rides on that. Peace and joy are my essential nature. And then allow the phrase to fall away and rest in the peace and joy, or the peace and ease that you are. Thoughts arise, sensations arise, everything rises and falls back, and none of it's a problem. When you rest back in the peace and joy and ease, when you rest back in the essential nature that you are, everything comes and goes. And there's nothing you have to do, nothing to grasp or push away. And when you see that, you just notice that and you come back again and again. So let's continue resting in that place that is who you already are. Peace and joy and ease. Pure present moment awareness. Notice how you feel in this moment and your intention for your time here. And then if you'd like to join me, let's please take a breath and sound the sound of Om. And remember, when you sound the sound of Om, it really comes from like the back of your throat with an Om. And linger with the hum of it. Let's do that 3 times, taking in a breath. And for a moment, feel the resonance of the sound. And bring your hands in prayer and honor your own heart awake and whole. Peace and joy. Jabagwan. And then please let yourself release a little bit from sitting. And we'll do a yin pose. So bring your, I do this very often after sitting, and you probably notice it. It's wonderful after sitting because it helps to decompress the spine. Right? And it's a great transition after meditating. So slide your feet away. Little diamond pose. There's a little dog tilt. You might like to have a block or bolster near you. So a little lift out of the waist, and then gently let the spine round down. Go where your body goes. Don't push it to go further. This is where we meet our appropriate edge. Now your elbows can be on your shins. Your hands can support your head with your forehead or your chin. Or if you like, a block can be on your feet and you can support your head. And then let your awareness scan around in the body. See if there are any unnecessary tensions there. Relax what you can. Sometimes even in the muscles of the face there's a holding. Or the belly. And then feel the quality of the breath and invite the breath to grow long and silky smooth. And if you are familiar with the Ujjayi breath, that little contraction in the back of the throat, incorporate that to help slow the breath down. This last half minute, you can find the rhythm of your breath by counting 1 ohm, 2 ohm, 3 ohm. See where the inhale goes and let the exhale match it. Take another breath. Now we're not going to fully release, so bring your hands to the floor, and as you inhale, just lengthen the tiniest bit, and then walk over towards your right leg. Just go where you can go. And let's stay here for 2 minutes. And again, you can have a prop, right? Or just be there and you can let the spine gently relax. The neck can relax. You'll feel there's a lengthening through the side of the body and a gentle twisting that happens. And you might find as it softens that you move in a little bit further. And then scan around and relax again. Keeping both sitting bones on the ground, but then let everything grow soft. And again, you can come back into that Ujjayi breath and find the rhythm. And now visualize the crown gently opening and a brilliant sparkling light as you inhale come down and through you, through the clear column right down to the root. And as you exhale right back out through the crown. In this way, clearing away anything that remains that's not needed. As you inhale, drawing down, healing light down through the crown and the third eye and the throat and the heart, the solar plexus, the belly, the roots. And then exhaling out. In these last few breaths, let any doing of breath fall away and just see if the body wants to ease in a little bit. And to release, walk your hands back to the center. Pause there in the center for a moment. Take your breath and awareness to any place that feels taxed. And then just the slightest bit, elongate and walk your hands over to the other side. Just go where you can go. Not pushing or forcing. This is a brand new moment. In fact, for some of you, if it feels like too much, still in Vata, you can come into an easy cross-legged sit. And then let the spine relax. Let everything relax as best you can. Scan around here and notice where you can soften a little bit. Bring your breath and awareness. Bring the peace that you are to anything that feels a little challenged or tight. We live a life and the body responds to it. But it doesn't mean that who we are at our essential nature ever leaves. And so we're clearing out all that we're not needing in the physical, mental, emotional terrain. And our breath is our ally. Every breath we take can be filled with peace, joy, and serenity. And now as you inhale, visualize again the breath coming right down from the crown, down to the root, right below the perineum or at the perineum. Hold the breath there, and then visualize the energy coming up along the right side to the heart's up and across the chest along the heart space, down along the left side of the ribs, back to the root. And as you exhale, up and out through the heart. As you inhale, draw it down from the crown down to the root. Circulate it up along the right side of the ribs, across the heart, down the left to the root. Exhale, up and out through the heart. And do that a few more times. Inhaling down, you may not be in the same rhythm, holding there as you visualize up along the right, across the left, down the left to the root, and exhaling up out through the heart. Take another breath or two here. And then to release, walk yourself back to the center and walk back up to sitting. Excuse me. And notice how you feel. Let your body respond a little bit if it needs in any way. And then please bring yourself back up to sitting. Get grounded and grow long. Bring your hands out to the side. And again, connect into your breath. And let's just move through the joints. And we'll start in the neck. So as you take a breath, as you exhale, drop your chin towards your chest. As you inhale, lift it up. Exhale, drop it back. Then just move in and out. Inhale up, exhale forward. And do that a few times. One more time. And then bring it back to the center. Take a breath, and as you exhale, drop your left ear toward your left shoulder. Pause there for a few breaths. And feel the space between your shoulder and your ear grow a little longer. If you like, you can take that hand on your head and just ease into it. And then release the hand. Inhale back to the center. And as you exhale, drop the opposite to the opposite side. Again, you can take that hand on your head and gently ease in. You might play a little there in the movement, little yes or no with your head. And then release and bring it back. And then take a breath and just turn your head to the left. Inhale, center, exhale to the right. And just go from side to side a little bit. Bring it back to the center. Take a big breath in. And as you exhale, shake out your head from side to side with a ha. And do that again. Big breath in. And just let it go. And then pay attention to how you feel. And then please open your eyes. And now let's do a little eye exercises. So as you move your eyes up to the top and as you exhale down, inhaling up and exhale down, and do that 10 times. So that's 8 more. Pause in the center. And then open the eyes and look from side to side. Not turning the head, but letting the eyes go from side to side. again, bring it back to the center and pause and notice how it feels in the eyes and your head. And again, open the eyes and then look up towards the left corner and down to the right. And then go back and forth and then back up to the other corner. And again, back to the center. Open the eyes and look up to the opposite corner and back down to the opposite corner. Continuing. And again, back to the center. And then open your eyes, look up and begin to make circles over to the right and down and all the way around and up. Do that 5 times in that direction. Take your time. When you've done your 5, go in the opposite direction. And close your eyes. Rub your hands together. And then gently let your hands rest on your face and cover the eyes. Receive the warmth and the healing. And then just wipe off the face, neck, wipe off the arms. And shake out the hands a little bit. And then let's stretch the fingers. So stretch the hands wide and release them back. And just do that a few times. And then stretch out your hand. And we're going to take each finger and just stretch it. So there's all these meridians. So if you can keep it with the arm out, that's great. And if not, keep it elbows closed. So either way. Now you could stay like this for a minute, but for our purposes, we'll stay a few breaths. And even a few breaths make a difference. Keep your breath flowing nice and silky smooth. And then go into the ring finger. You might even feel how that activates up along the arm. And the middle finger. Index finger. And the thumb. And then just take your hand in the opposite direction. Just press the wrist open one way. Press the wrist the other way and shake it out. Right out through the wrist and the elbow and the shoulder. And then let's take the opposite hand. Stretch the little finger. And lengthen the arm if you can. Take a few breaths there. And go to the edge that's appropriate for you. It's the same teaching in everything we do. And then the ring finger. And the middle finger. Pointer. And the thumb. And then stretch your wrist in opposite directions. Shake it out. The wrist, the elbow, shoulder, Pause for a moment. You might feel a lot of energy in your hands. And then once again, roll the shoulders. Begin to make some nice big shoulder rolls. Inhaling forward and up. Exhale back. And then put your elbows and your hands into it, wrists. Big breath. The next time, interlace your fingers behind or take hold of your thigh and stretch back. So open up the chest. So press out through the fingers and then lift up a little bit. Come to that edge. Breathe and relax. Peace and joy are my essential nature, even amidst any edges. And then gently release. And if you would please come onto your hands and knees. So let's move a little bit into the spine, a little more into the spine. So begin by bringing your buttocks back towards your heels. Now, if you're not able to do this, you can do this from sitting and get an arcing and rounding of spine, right? Otherwise, come down and stretch your hands out on your mat. Walk them away. See that they are shoulders width apart, wrists aligned with the mat. Pause for a moment and let your head relax. And then you can stretch a little bit from side to side. And then please come on to your hands and knees. Draw your shoulders down your back. Grow long from tailbone to crown. Take a breath, and as you exhale, round the spine. Slide your sacrum down and tuck in your chin. As you inhale, lift the sitting bones, drop the belly, lift the head, draw your shoulders down. And then as you exhale, round. And begin or continue this little cat and dog stretch. Pressing into the earth to let the vertebrae spread a little bit more as you exhale. Inhale, drop the belly. And exhale, rounding. So do a few more in that way. And the next time you exhale, come back to the center. And let your eyes gaze on a spot. We'll do a little balance here. So now stretch your left arm out and bring your right leg back. And you can bring your toes to rest or you can lift them up. And then lengthen out. And then release the hand and the foot. And stretch the right hand out. Lengthen the left leg. You can keep it resting or lift it up and elongate. And release it down. And then let's do that going in and out in that way. So inhale, lengthening, exhale down. And then do the opposite side. Keep it going. You're doing great. Take your time. Move with breath. Stay focused. One more time on each side. And then pause there. You can even bring your buttocks back, come back into child, and take a breath. Feel what's happening now, and always, if place feels taxed, take your breath and energy there. And then please stretch the hands out again. Come back up into your table. And this time come down onto your forearms. And then take your right hand out to the edge of your mat. The elbow is bent. And then take your right hand through. So you come down onto the side of your head, and I like to use that hand on the floor to just ease into that twist. And then breath by breath, you can press and open up a little bit. You can walk that hand overhead. Sometimes I like to tuck the toe of the left foot under and straighten that leg. You can stretch the arm up. So play a little bit here for a few breaths. The hand might even come around your back. And then release the hand down. Press into it and bring it back to the center. Go back down onto your forearms and pause there for a moment. And then slide your right hand to the edge of your mat. And take your left arm and slide it through. Use that right hand to gently ease into the twist a little bit. Breath by breath. If the body wants to play, you can walk that right hand overhead. You might tuck the toe of your right foot under and straighten that leg and open it up. And then just play a little bit with that right arm. So we feel into our bodies. We feel the spaces that need our love. That's really what we're doing, right? We're bringing more love into these bodies. Take another breath or two. And then release the knee down. Release your right hand down. Come back up onto all fours. And walk your buttocks back. Pause there for a moment, either on your forearms or all the way down. And then if you can, come up to sitting on your heels. Now these poor little toes don't often get much of a stretch. So now come off your buttocks, tuck your toes under, and you go just where you can. Maybe that's enough. But if you can, you try to sit back on your heels. Keep smiling. Or come to sit on your heels and you get that nice little toe stretch. And just like our hands, our toes have all those meridians. And then release that. Let the toes lie flat. And then, if you can, lean back. Now, if it's possible, lift your knees a little bit, and that'll stretch the front of your toes. So knees lift. Now lift the chest. Knees lift, chest lifts. One more time. And then slowly release the knees down. Come back onto your hands. Just stretch one leg out. And then the other. And then find your way onto your back. And when you come onto your back, bring your feet to standing. Take your hands behind the back of your head. Lift your head an inch or so and let your neck grow long and heavy in your hands. And then release your head back down. And then draw your shoulder blades down the back and spread them on your back. I'll join you. And then draw your right knee in towards your chest. As you inhale, the knee falls away, and as you exhale, draw it in. And do that a few times. And then stretch your left leg out on the floor. And now as you exhale, stretch through the left leg and draw the right knee in. You can take it out towards the shoulder a little bit. Inhale, you let it release a little, and as you exhale, lengthen the space. And then lift the left foot off the floor a little bit and energize that leg. And then take a breath. As you exhale, lift your head up towards your knee. Now you can continue holding. Nice, strong abdomen. Breath supports you, and then stretch your hands down if you like. Smile, keep the smile. And then release it down. Draw it in. And then bring your left foot to the floor, stretch your right leg up. And slide your hands on the leg and draw it in a little bit. Breath by breath, stay to the edge. It doesn't matter how far you go. Just relax what you can. And then slowly, slowly release that leg down. Stretch both legs out and feel your right leg and feel your left. There's probably a difference. And then bring both feet to standing. Keep the spine in its natural alignment. Draw your left knee in. And on the exhale, draw it in. Each breath, move with breath just a little bit. Use the strength of your hands, just easing in and out. Next time, stretch the right leg out. And then you energize in both directions, out through the foot and out through the left knee. And then gently lift the right foot, energize through that leg. On the next exhale, bring your head towards your knee. And if you like, you release those hands. Mudra-size it if you like. And then slowly, slowly release it. Bring your right foot to standing. Take a breath and stretch your left leg up. So there's a little energy in it, and you draw it towards your torso. You can slide your hands and ease it in a little bit. And then gently release the legs down. Pause for a moment and savor that. Savor the energy that gets released. And bring both feet to standing, please, about as wide as your mat now. Extend your arms in a T position. Take a breath and drop your knees to the right. Keep your left shoulder blade on the floor. As you inhale, bring them to the center. As you exhale, to the left. And you press out through that right knee when you're going to the left. And then you inhale, center, and you drop them to the right and press particularly through that left leg now. And do that a few times. The next time you come to the right, press out through that left knee and stabilize in your pelvis. So slide the sacrum down a little bit. Take the outside of your right ankle and just let it rest on the outside of your left leg if you like. You can stretch your left arm out to the side or overhead. Breathe into that beautiful lengthening and twisting and meeting of yourself. And then gently release the right foot. Bring it back to the center. Pause there. And then in the next exhale, drop it to the left. Again, stabilizing the pelvis. Press out through the right knee. And if you like, take the outside of your left ankle on the outside of your right leg. The right arm can come overhead. So there's a lengthening and a twisting. And always scanning to see, where can I bring breath? Where can I soften? And we grow more space inside to know the peace and ease and joy and aliveness that we are. Take another breath here. Reach into it. And then slowly keep the eyes closed and slowly release the left leg. Bring both to the floor. Pause for a moment. And then ask your body what it needs right now. Maybe you'd like to draw the knees in, or maybe you'd like to come into a little bridge, or maybe something else. This is where we really listen to the wisdom of body. Everything in the world is in your own body. Everywhere. The one you look for, everywhere, is in the world. In the world is in your own body. So right now, listen to that one and ask what's needed. Let your body be moved with a little stretch or pose. Every breath we take, every step we make can be filled with peace, joy, and serenity. Be moved by that peace, joy, and serenity. Dare to follow a longing of the moment. What's needed now? The infinite expressing itself uniquely as you. Take another few moments here and ask if there's anything else still needed. And then over the next few moments, find a way to take rest. Make sure that you're comfortable, have what you need, perhaps something under your legs. And an eye covering is always really nice. It allows us to go deeper into relaxation. And then let the body splay out. And then just take a few long, steady, letting go breaths. Big breath in. Hold it at the top for a moment. And then just open the mouth and let it go. Anything that's not needed. And do that 3 to 5 times. And then let any doing of breath fall away and rest. Rest in the suchness, the pure creative stillness that you are. So hum, so hum, so hum, Shiva hum, so hum, so hum, so hum, Shiva hum, so hum, so hum. Soham Shivoham Soham 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 Shivoham. I am that I am. 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 Soham, Soham, Soham Shivoham, Soham, Soham, Soham Shivoham. So if you would take a few long breaths to call your body back, just enough, just enough, and feel yourself back on the earth, in your space, hearing my voice and any sounds around you, but not leaving. We don't leave any of the peace and joy that we have touched because it is who we are. And so allow your body to stretch a little bit in its own way. And gradually draw your knees into your chest and roll to one side and pause there for a moment. Rest in what we call the fetal pose, right? It's the pose we took life, birth in, right? This is the pose we were in the womb. And here we are still in the womb of the great mother being held. She always remembers who we are. May we each remember who we are. And then gently press your hands into the earth and come back up to sitting, and come to get what you need to sit with a blanket or cushion. If you like your journal nearby, have that. And then just snuggle down into your seat and grow long. And feel where you are now, the gift of practice and your presence. As you breathe, feel the quality of breath, the body and the mind and heart. As you sit, take in any sounds around you or hearing here. Just sounds arising, passing through awareness. And take a few moments to reflect on our time together. How, as we move through the body, recognizing who we are, our essential natures, peace and joy. And notice if there were any insights as we opened through the joints and moved in the body. And then please drop in a little deeper to that essential nature that you are, already so, already wise, already at peace. And listen from this place, given all that's happened today and given my life and the world, what is it that I need to remember now? What is it I need to remember as I step back into my day? And if you're writing, you might like to write at the top from that voice of wisdom, this is what I have to say to you. And let the words flow. And if you're not writing, just repeat it to yourself. This is what I have to say to you. And listen deeply. Trust what you hear, and they may show up as thoughts, feelings. This is what you need to know. And then ask another question. Is there an action I need to take in my life? And then listen. And write it down or repeat it to yourself. And if you're writing, just let your pen come to stillness, and let's pause and take all of that in, remembering who we are and that wisdom is available. Mm. And then please, let's take a moment for gratitude for all that we've received here, for the precious gift of this human life, for our ability to make wise choices, to choose kindness again and again. Mm. Gratitude for each other, all of the beautiful teachings and that are available to us. And then we send our blessings out to everyone and everything, everywhere. Take a breath. And as you exhale, imagine those blessings just moving through every pore of your being to reach everyone and everything everywhere, so that all beings everywhere may know the peace and joy and contentment that they are, so that all may know happiness and the root of happiness. May all have enough. May all struggles diminish. May all feel love. May this reach out to touch everyone, all hearts without one exception. And know that this comes back to you manyfold now. And so if you'd like, join me. We'll close with our dedication, Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. We begin with the sound of Om and chant it 3 times and end with Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. So let's begin with the sound of Om, taking in a breath. Om Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. May all beings everywhere know peace and joy and love and light. May peace prevail. And bringing your hands in prayer at your heart to honor again your own awakened heart, Jai Bhagwan, and to each other, Jai Bhagwan. My dear friends, thank you once again for joining me. It really, it means so much to me, and I love practicing with you and sharing this life. So I love hearing from you. And I really appreciate when I do hear from you and be in communication. So I send you my love. Have a wonderful day. I send you my blessings.